Welcome back. You'd think the president's rock-bottom approval rating and America's growing animosity toward incumbents would give Democrats a pretty clear shot at winning back Congress this fall. But leading analysts like pollster Charlie Cook say it may not happen. Democrats may gain a few seats, but not enough to tip the balance of power. That's his opinion anyway. With that bleak outlook for 2006, it's no wonder Democrats are turning their attention to 2008, floating names like Hillary Clinton, Al Gore, and yes, even the newcomer, Illinois Senator Barack Obama, as possible contenders for the White House. Here to talk about the roster of Democratic hopefuls, Air America radio host Rachel Maddow. Rachel.
Hi, Tucker.
Welcome. Let me just say, I actually I think that Charlie Cook, who knows a lot more about this than I ever will, may be a little bit too optimistic on the Republican side. I actually think they could be in trouble.
He certainly stands alone. He's not in the mainstream. I think most people think the Democrats have a pretty good shot at taking back the House.
Possibly. They could screw it up. I mean, they're a pretty unappealing party when it comes right down to it. But let's just talk about 2008. Barack Obama. This sounds like one of these media creations where we all decide, oh, Barack Obama, is he going to run? Actually, he's hired a very famous Democratic in Washington, anyway, Democratic consultant to start this PAC. He's writing a book about his political ideas, whatever those may be. And he's being encouraged by people like Dick Durbin, the senior senator from his state, to run for president. Yeah. Barack Obama, impressive guy, 44 years old, though. He's been in the Senate fewer than 2 years. Are you serious? Democrats serious about this?
Well, whether or not Obama really could win, his age and the fact that he hasn't been in the Senate very long are probably good things for him, not bad things for him. Yes. I mean, he'd be older than Clinton was when he took office if he won in 2008. Yes. And, you know, frankly, the longer he stays in the Senate, I think the less electable he becomes.
But Clinton, I mean, to be fair to Clinton, whom I don't care for at all, but he had been governor for a long time, since 1978. So, I mean, Clinton had done a lot, even for a young man.
Well, George W. Bush, he was, had been the owner of the Texas Rangers and had traded Sammy Sosa and had been the governor of a state for 2 terms that has the least powerful governorship in the entire country.
I don't know, being governor of any state, including Wyoming, is a complicated job, more complicated in some ways than in many ways than being senator. But look, the point is this, I mean, it just seems kind of weak. So here, let me read you the lineup of people we're talking about. Chris Dodd, Joe Biden, Russ Feingold, John Kerry, Evan Bayh. Current senators, former senators John Edward, Tom Daschle, Iowa Governor Tom Vilsack, former Virginia Governor Mark Warner, Hillary Clinton. Are you tingling in anticipation yet? I mean, that's kind of a lame lineup.
Both of the governors there, I think, are potentially good. I mean, what's happening right now, 2 years out, there's 2 things happening. On the one hand, you've got the candidates who are kind of kissing the ring of all the appropriate special interests and activists. And that's happening on both sides. That's why you've got Giuliani campaigning for Ralph Reed. And that's why you've got John McCain kissing Jerry Falwell's ring. And that's why on the left, you're going to see some Democrats taking some stronger anti-war stands, I think, to cultivate the activist base. That's what's happening in public. In private, it's the real game. And in private, it's wooing the big fat cat donors and fundraisers. Right. And so it's our job as pundits to figure out who those fat cats want, because that'll really make the difference.
But the money does, I mean, follow the success. I mean, Howard Dean, I mean, I've watched this unfold intimately many times, and as a person builds this perception that he's a potential winner, the money flows. I mean, it just happens.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay, but on the margins.
But here's Hillary Clinton. Okay, if it's all about money, then Hillary Clinton has more money than the rest of these guys put together, probably squared. Okay, she's got a ton of dough, no real challenger in the midterm in 2006 this year. Why isn't she the heir apparent? Why are people even talking about Barack Obama? Because Democrats think she's weak. That's why.
Well, she's the presumptive frontrunner, and so that means she has a huge bullseye on her right now, and so that means that she's going to get attacked by all the activists and special interests. She's also making a mint for right-wing authors writing nasty, scary books about her. I mean, she just right now her job is to carry the bullseye around. That's basically what she's doing.
She's a martyr for the cause.
She's a martyr for the cause. I don't think she'll be the nominee ultimately. I mean, right now she's taking all the heat so that nobody else does.
It's a cause not worth martyring yourself, as far as I'm concerned. There are no 72 virgins at the end of that jihad, unfortunately. Barack Obama, do you think that's real? I mean, do you think the Democratic Party would actually? They fielded Howard Dean. I mean, they're capable of anything, obviously. But do you think he'd be a good candidate?
The question, I think, really is who do the fat cat, big rich donors want? On the right, they want more of the same. They want somebody who's more like Bush. And so I think on the right, those donors will want somebody like Jeb, or they would love Cheney. On the left, the question is who is going to be the party that represents a big break from Bush, a big change. And I think that's not good news for any candidate who's currently in the United States Senate. Any senator has a big mark against him.
Or maybe even in the United States, maybe they'll run a Canadian.
That's a great idea.
Oh, it's unconstitutional.
They could run my mom.
Too bad they would. They'd be happy to run a Belgian if they could get away with it. Rachel Maddow.
Schwarzenegger, maybe?
Thank you.
Cheers.
Still to come.